this is one of the main day trips you can take from Salvador.
We stopped here because we saw the hanging caju.
One of the best drinks I've had here.
So this beach just seems to stretch on and on and on. Bom dia from Salvador. Salvador has been great so far, but Salvador is also known for its day trips, and we are going on supposedly one of the best ones. We're going to Praia Do Forte. We have to catch an Uber and a bus and go about 2 hours.
Can't wait. The second we got here, we asked for where linha, verde is. This is the bus company we have to use to get there. Not real clear signage. Maybe we should try to do 9 and 10.
After a bit of a scare, we actually got on. The lady gave us 10 o'clock, but we wanted 9 o'clock. It's about 9:10, and we saw this bus come up in the right place. So.
And luckily, the bus driver knew English, so we were able to explain the situation that there was a misunderstanding, and she booked the wrong time. So, Praia Do Forte is about an hour and 40-minute drive.
Okay, we just arrived in Praia Do Forte. We're on our way to the beach right now. They kind of drop you off at the end of this, what would you call it?
Tourist shop avenue?
Yeah. So there are a bunch of shops, tourist shops, shopping, some restaurants and things, and it looks like you have to walk for a good 10 minutes before you get to the beach. But if you want to grab some food like us, we're gonna look for some acai and or some coffee before we get to the beach.
So there were a lot of options to choose from. We finally found a place that serves ice cream and has an acai bar where you can make your own and add your own toppings, and then they weigh it. We've noticed a lot of places have been doing it like that. So I got acai natural with banana and kiwi.
It's dripping everywhere. Acai, kiwi, banana, strawberry. I have to eat this soon before it goes all on the table.
So as we've been eating acai more, we have noticed that some places make it extra sweet and they use guarana as a sweetener. And then others have it more natural, so we like somewhere in between. Just a little bit of sweetness, but not too much.
That's right. Make sure you check your acai places because the flavor changes everywhere you go. We've probably been to 25 different places at this point, and the flavor kind of changes at all of them. So make sure if you get a bad one at first, know that you probably don't hate acai, it's just a bad one.
And what's nice is they do always let you sample if you want to try it before you actually order it. So we're going to enjoy this and then head to the beach. So it's very nice here at Praia Do Forte, but it seems very geared towards tourists, which isn't a bad thing. So this is one of the main day trips you can take from Salvador. There's lots of tours you can take, or you can do it like we did and just take a bus. We paid about $2 a person one way to get here on an hour and 40-minute bus ride. Here's the beach. Not much for sand. The water comes right up to the shoreline. It's a small beach.
Wow. caju?
Vodka e cachaça.
Ok. Quanto custa cachaça caju?
Cachaça 25, vodka. Não, pera. Cachaça 20, vodka 25.
Cachaça is cheaper.
20 or 25. So that's what, $4 for the cachaça? You want to try one?
So he's letting me try this fruit. This is one of the fruits you can get with your alcoholic beverage. That's really good.
What is it?
What are those fruits we tried in Peru, the tomato fruits?
Aguaimanto?
It reminds me of aguaimanto.
But it's not because it has a pit in there.
Huh, that's good.
Wow, yeah, I like that. Alright, we're trying a couple more fruits here.
We're curious, so he's letting us try them all. How do you say it again?
Acerola.
Acerola.
Oh, so it's like I think it's like the cherry, like a Amazon cherry?
Ooh. Wow. It's very tart and sweet at the same time. That's good.
I think it's a certain kind of cherry. It's like a tart cherry.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, so yeah, uma caju, cachaça e uma. Where do you put these? Or do I just have? Good marketing. We stopped here because we saw the hanging caju, the cashew fruit. Get all these different alcohols.
Total is 40 real, which is $8 for 2 drinks. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. This thing keeps hitting me in the head. When we come to the beach, we like to get some drinks just to relax, and it's fun to try the different flavors and just be refreshed.
So I don't know if it's going to be more than they put the top of the fruits on the side and a little umbrella.
We like shopping at these little street food stands just to help support the local stands that are smaller. Obrigada.
Very good.
Obrigado. Okay, it was too much to get to the beach and find a place to sit. At least in this immediate area, this beach is pretty much taken over by people. And we have these drinks here, which are hard to walk through the sand, trudging through the sand without spilling them everywhere.
So I'm going to start by trying mine. The guy did tell me the name of this fruit, but we are forgetting and it's hard to pronounce, so if you know it, leave a comment below. It's like an orange berry with a little pit inside. One of the best drinks I've had here. It keeps happening.
That's right. That's great.
Nice.
The flavor, it's a little orangey, like citrusy, but not too much. Almost like, I would describe it almost like an orangey mango or something. Like a mix of a sweet fruit and a citrus fruit at the same time. It's really good.
I like it a lot.
That could be like a favorite fruit of mine, maybe.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I love it. So normally when you order a drink at these beach stands, they give you the option to order cachaça or vodka. Vodka is usually more expensive, but I think it tastes maybe better. So we actually ended up getting vodka and didn't know, and ended up paying a bit more on accident.
Cachaça is like the national alcohol of Brazil, so it always seems to be the cheapest. If you got vodka, it was an extra $5 for each drink, so like another $1. So we ended up paying $2 more for the 2 drinks for those. We said we wanted cachaça, but he ended up with vodka. I don't know how, but maybe he just wanted to make another couple bucks. I don't know. But let me try this. If you watched our other video where we were at the tree house trying drinks, we already had one of these, but not on a beach. So this is the caju fruit, which is the cashew fruit. You can see it at the top there, the cashew at the top of the fruit.
Now cashew has a unique flavor.
Not even flavor, but like a feeling in your mouth.
It's kind of, it does taste kind of nutty, but slightly sweet, but not much. It's really hard to describe the flavor on this one.
It's almost like it takes the moisture out of your mouth when you get a piece of the fruit.
Very dry, yeah.
So it's odd, but it's good. It's good. What's interesting about Lindsay's drink, or the fruit that they put in it, we don't remember really seeing this fruit, but now that we got here up a little north, we're seeing it at all of these food carts and drink carts. So I don't know, maybe that's like a regional fruit in Brazil? Just a guess, let us know if you know. We're glad we found it now. Look, after he muddles up the drink, or muddles up the fruit, you get just the pits. So those are all the pits of the fruit. Such an odd looking fruit. It's like a nut on top. What do you say we find a better beach? This way. On and on and on, and we don't really know where to stop. It all looks pretty much the same here, so we're just gonna stop next to nothing in particular and get our feet wet. How's the water?
The water is warm like a bath. So nice.
So there are rocks all over in this part, which is possibly why most people stick to the same area. A little small stretch of beach when you first get in here. That's just a guess. There aren't too many people over here. Maybe because of the rocks.
So while we've been in Brazil, we've developed some very awkward tan lines, so we're going to try to take care of those right now. Alex has a really dark one here on his neck, and I have some weird ones on my back. We have arrived at Projecto Tomar. This is the turtle sanctuary.
Okay, we just entered the sanctuary. It's a nice open space, windy, sand, and hopefully some baby turtles over here. Yeah. So that is a huge turtle right there. You can barely see him right now because of the wind. You can see his nose. Whoa, he's huge. Hey.
Wow.
Damn.
They're popping up to say hello.
These exist. They're just floating around in the ocean.
Hi, Brian.
Pretty cool. So it looks like there are 3 fully grown turtles in this tank here, and they came up to say hi.
I've never seen a turtle so huge. It's hard to believe they actually exist.
Oh, flipper coming up. So this is the smallest of the sea turtles, and you'll find it usually in the tropical and subtropical seas of the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans. It's gray-green, the head is small, and it has powerful jaws that allow it to feed on crustaceans.
So this is the olive Ridley turtle. Average weight of this guy is 42 kilograms. Lives in coastal waters, but also in open seas. Likes to eat fish, mollusks, and crustaceans, with a preference for shrimp.
So this is the Archelon. It's a car-sized sea turtle. It's an extinct species of sea turtle, but it lived 70 million years ago. So basically like a dinosaur. Look how huge that is.
Na sua cabeça,
Up there. Wow. some babies right here in this pool. It's hard to believe they grow that big.
These baby turtles, they're probably like about that size. So we're just gonna read a little tidbit here of information with these baby turtles. When the baby turtles leave the nest, they run to the brightest horizon. Under natural conditions, this is always the sea horizon. Therefore, artificial lighting, so like street lighting, cars and houses, endangers the life of the baby turtles. They become disoriented and end up following the artificial light and eventually die through dehydration, tiredness, or being run over. Hey man, hey man.
Alright, so we're headed out, we're gonna grab some food, but that was really cool. We got to see some turtles up close, which I've never seen before, and some sharks, some stingrays. So this animal sanctuary helps preserve and protect the turtles. They take in injured sea turtles and then help to breed and release sea turtles into the wild so that there are more of them because they are becoming more extinct.
Look at this cool little mangrove here.
So we're gonna wrap up our day here. It's been a long one. We have a feeling there's a lot more to this place than we got to explore. It seems really cool, but all we had time for was the beach and the turtle sanctuary. So thank you guys for watching. We're gonna do a little Q&A and we'll see you tomorrow.
It is Q&A time.
Before we get into the Q&A, if you have a question that you want answered, leave it in a comment below and write Q&A and your question and we'll try to get to it. First one comes from Yudi Tui. I am wondering, where do you guys change money at Brazil? At the airport? Using an ATM? Thanks. Good question.
Typically ATMs. I like to use the ATMs at the airport, so maybe a bit of both. But we'll usually start when we arrive into a new country. We will get money at the ATM at an airport, pull out enough for the next 2 to 5 days most likely, and then use ATMs from then on. With certain debit cards, you get to use pretty much most ATMs in the world, most banks, so you can just stop anywhere and pull out money. It's pretty simple, and so we get money every 3 or 4 days typically. I have a debit card called Charles Schwab, and that is the best debit card for travel right now. If you get that, it means no foreign transaction fees, no ATM fees or any of that. So when you pull out money, you don't have the $5 slapped on there whenever you pull it out for transaction fees, foreign fees, you know, all the other fees that you can get from using cards. I have kind of a trifecta of cards, so I have like a credit card that I can use with no fees, and then debit cards I can pull out money with no fees. So that's the way to do it. Leave questions below if you have any questions about those things, and I'll try to give you more info on those cards.
You should probably just do a video about your cards, honestly.
One day.
But yeah, we have found that this card has been super helpful because the ATM fees can really add up. If you're going to an ATM every 3 days, you don't want to have to pay a $5 fee every time, just because over time that accumulates. So another thing to know with ATMs is sometimes they won't work with your card and you have to try like 3 different ones. So it's good to always have cash. You don't want to run out completely. And
I'd say bring a couple different debit cards and credit cards if you can, because sometimes my Charles Schwab one won't work, so then I'll use a Chase one that will work at that particular ATM.
We both travel with cards just in case something were to happen to one of our cards. For example, when I was in Peru early on in the trip, all my credit card and debit card information got stolen and I had to get all my cards deactivated, and because of COVID, mail wasn't running, so I had no way to get money. Thank goodness Alex had his cards, but you never know what could happen, so you want to have a backup plan.
The next one is from Valentin Nabs. Valentin ABS, I don't know. Hi Lindsay, If you're a nurse, why aren't you doing that now? Are you afraid, or do you like being a travel bum better?
I like this question. I thought it was funny how it was worded. I wouldn't say I necessarily like either one better or worse. I was a pediatric psych nurse for 6 years, and I decided I wanted to take some time off to travel. So that's what I did. I'm not scared to work as a nurse. Since I'm a psych nurse, we aren't really dealing with COVID specifically or anything like that. I like being a travel bum. I like being a nurse. But right now I just want to travel.
That's the thing that Lindsay forgets that she should say whenever she says she's a nurse in these videos. People like to comment and say, oh, why aren't you helping
yeah.
during COVID and all of that? But she's not that type of nurse. There are a bunch of types of nurses in the world. Hers does not deal with COVID, so it doesn't really change anything. And she quit before COVID started. It's not like COVID came and she quit her job. Like, she had quit, she had saved up a bunch of money. This was her plan to travel the world, and I was already doing it, and she joined me. So it really has nothing to do with COVID in any way, shape, or form.
It doesn't. It's not related at all. So there's the backstory on that one. Last question comes from Sue from Toronto on. She says, the monkeys are so cute, but were they aggressive at all? I noticed you guys trying to pat them. Would they bite? She's talking about our video from Leme Fort where we saw monkeys in Rio.
So we heard that they can be aggressive, they can bite and all of that, but Lindsay couldn't help herself. They were cute, and there was a baby there, a baby or two, and mostly the monkeys that we were getting more close to was the baby.
There was a lot of adults.
I think, okay, the monkey,
Uh-oh.
the baby the baby monkey was getting close to us mostly, or at least to me when I got close to a monkey. It was just a tiny little baby like this size, so I didn't really imagine him like jumping out and grappling on and like biting us or something. He was just like playing peekaboo kind of behind a tree, and he was a little scared. Like, he wasn't gonna jump on us.
No.
The adults, they could, but we took our chances.
I risked my life to get close to a monkey.
Lindsay will risk her life for animals, to get close to animals.
I tend to be overly trusting just in general, and I couldn't resist. I wanted to get close to them.
If they look cute, she thinks they're not gonna do anything.
The thing is, yeah, they probably can bite. Just, I don't know. They probably can bite, but it was my lucky day. And they didn't bite me. Alright.
Okay, with that awkward answer, we're gonna end this Q&A. Make sure you leave some questions for us down below.
And we will try to answer them in the next Q&A. If you liked this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this one.
We're traveling all around Brazil for a few months, and we have some really good stuff in store. So make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of those videos, and then we're gonna travel around the rest of the world. So we will see you tomorrow.